Game Podcast.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Quest Unplayed.
What are you doing in my home?
Three of us, have fun together, talk about games, have indie game devs here and there, and anyone in the gaming industry, and just talk about fun stuff. And today's podcast is joined by myself, George, and Anthony.
Hi, everyone.
And Zach.
Hi.
And we have another guest, Cyril.
Hey, representing Montreal Canadiens today.
All right, I like the spirit of it.
Right now, so it's okay. We'll win.
Okay, nice. Before we actually begin, this podcast is sponsored by Minimap, your ultimate gaming hub, and a gaming companion app. Sync your game accounts, make your own game collections, connect with other gamers, and just basically have fun on Minimap. And we have the sponsor video playing about now.
I want the noise again, George. Make the noise happen again.
What noise?
You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
No, that's not the noise. Best Souls game of all time. I'll be the judge of that.
Minimap, your ultimate gaming hub.
All right.
Somebody
All
watching
right.
this on video?
Was that the noise you wanted to hear?
The Mario noise?
I don't know what it is about old school retro, like do, but it just like,
It looks a little bit like Mario Bros. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, there's a little bit of Mario in you. Yeah.
Yeah, I can actually see that too. Okay.
Yeah, you can see it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you should become Mario for Halloween.
Yeah. You know,
I was Mario was for Halloween. I'll send you the picture after this.
All right,
Get the
we're-
hat,
It's like-
get everything. Yeah, get the whole
please,
get up.
please share that on
I would-
Minimap too.
I would probably be the Mario, like Mario's like old grumpy uncle. Something
Yeah.
like,
10,
he's
20
like,
years
let's
old,
go, and I'm like,
you still
"It's
don't have
a
the
lot."
princess, and it's, yeah. You're doing Comic Con and you're just playing your old self again.
Yeah. I do like those that old school, like all the old retro games. They had the do, like it just, you can't beat it. Like you just can't.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's
Simple.
classics.
Yeah.
Like if I could take all my new video games and make everything like that, I would just change all the noises to old retro noises.
You can probably find some kind of
Actually, could do that. Actually,
a sound play every time you play. I don't know.
Yeah,
Lots of people
that'll be
be
fun.
confused. They're like, wait a minute, I don't remember that noise. Like, don't worry
You can
about it.
probably do something.
Yeah. So, anyways, so we have another guest. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself in the game before we actually start?
I can. So, hi everybody. My name is Cyril, as we were talking about earlier. I'm a software developer. I've been a software developer for about 30 years. For those of you who are old enough to have played or used MSN Messenger, I was the guy doing Messenger Plus at this time. It was
wow.
pretty popular at the time. And since then, I've been doing a couple of stuff, software, data centers and everything, cybersecurity. And now I started a new video game company, Studio Ivalys, so Ivalys Studios, because I've been wanting to do a video game for probably 30 years. So here it is. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Wow.
I don't know if you can understand me correctly with my horrible French accents, but I'm doing my best. So
We understood you.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, thank you.
1,000%.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so we'll get back to the game, but only after we take the gamer type quiz.
all right.
All right, so are you ready to take the gamer type quiz, Sarah?
Is there some kind of nice little music like with your sponsor or something?
You got this.
Let's go for it. All right, it's finally the weekend. After a long, tiring week, do you ask a friend to play a video game together, or you need to spend quality time alone?
No, alone. I'm old enough to play
Okay.
alone. Yeah.
All right, good answer. Next question. The new game that just released isn't my type, but a friend is urging me to play with. It's not my cup of tea, so I refused at first, but it would be fun to play, so you buy it. Or you listen to your friend's words right away and play together.
I mean, no friend of mine is asking me to play with him on a new game that's not my type, so I don't know. I mean, if a friend is asking me, I'll try it. Yeah, sure.
Okay, you'll probably try it right away. Okay. There's got to be a reason why your friend is asking, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, my kid wants me to play with Fortnite. I suck at it, but I tried. I mean,
Yeah, that's a good dad.
Sure, why not?
Next question. You are thinking about joining a community with strict terms to get game information. From self-introduction to attendance check, it's too much for me, or it has good information, so getting ranked up after 3 days is no problem.
Yeah, I'm used to Reddit, so yeah, the second option. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Next question. Before buying a game, you carefully read over other people's reviews, watch the trailer, check the price, or if the game looks interesting, you trust your instinct and make a purchase.
Yep, I trust my instincts.
All right.
I don't want to get spoiled either, so I don't.
Right. So sometimes that happens if you search
Yeah,
something and then
pretty
you
easy.
see the ending or whatever story.
Yeah, you see a picture, say no, why? Then just no.
Yeah, that just kind of ruined my experience. But anyways, next question. If someone is watching you play a game from behind, it's the perfect opportunity to show your amazing gameplay or you're actually good at it, but due to the pressure, you're missing skill shots.
I'm playing video games with turns, so I don't have any chance to miss my shot anyway. Actually, it depends. If I play some kind of DDR game or stuff like that, but no, I'm second choice.
Okay.
It's a perfect opportunity to show my. I don't have amazing gameplay stuff, but no, first choice. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are playing a newly released game for the first time. Rather than having regrets later on about missing something, you go over to the tutorials, or if the game looks similar to the one you've played before, you skip the tutorial.
Yeah, always go over the tutorials, even if they are boring. So, yeah.
All right. You're playing a mystery-solving game. Based on your years of experience in mystery-solving games, that guy is the culprit, or you need to start collecting evidence first.
I start collecting evidence first. Yeah.
Very, very good steps.
Yeah. Okay.
Next question. In order to equip the rune that increases defense by 0.01%, you have to return to the lobby. 0.01% is not a big difference, and my friends are waiting, so I just go, or you go back to the lobby to equip the rune and tell your friends to wait.
Again, I'm too old to play games that have a lobby. I don't. So I'm not going into whatever lobby there is.
Okay.
So no.
You're just going to be going. Okay.
Yeah.
Next question. During gameplay, your companion's character has bitten by a zombie. You might be able to find the cure, so you decide to accompany them, or everyone in your group can get infected, so you choose to kill them, even though it is tragic.
No. I accompany them. Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Even if you don't express it, you feel like you keep losing because of your friend. Are they not feeling well? You lift up your friend's spirits, or you send them a link to the characters, tips and tricks, and suggest that gameplay.
Isn't there a third option? I insult them in the chat and tell them just to leave the dungeon or something. Let's say the first one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, next question. The character has bad performance, but the appearance is totally your type. Considering the balance of your party, you cannot put them in your party, or you have to put the favorite character in the party no matter the cost.
I'll consider the balance.
Balance, okay.
Yeah, balance.
Your current desktop is messy with tons of icons or neatly cleaned?
2 icons. Yeah.
2 icons, they're very neat then. Okay.
Yeah, 2 icons.
What are the two icons then?
Recycle bin and the folder to the translation of Pluralys. So yeah.
All right. Good strategy. Before getting into the game, you search the internet just in case you end up missing achievements, or you have never played a game for the achievements.
I have never played a game for the achievements, but I have to admit it's something I was not choose at some point before, but it's fun to win achievements. But I'm not searching the internet for whatever achievements. I get achievements I can get, and that's it.
All right. How many achievements does Pluralys have?
Well, it's starting to be implemented. So far, I think we have 15 or 20, something like that.
Okay.
But at the end, there'll probably be like 30 or something like that. Yeah.
All right.
Some easy ones and some more difficult, of course.
A last question. You, who happens to play lots of games, you play a game you feel like playing at the moment from your collection, or you have a gaming schedule?
Whoa, no. Well, actually, if I start a game, often I just finish the game.
Okay.
So, especially because I like adventure games. So if I'm in the middle of a story, I don't want to lose the story. So yeah. So I play a game and I finish it. Yeah. So the first one, I guess.
Okay. Let's see. You are a harmonious druid.
An harmonious druid, all right.
So
I tend to be a tank in Final Fantasy 14, but
all right. So you like multiplayer more than single player. You do enjoy competition, but you're better at multiplayer games, co-op games. You go online just to mingle with people. You actually enjoy sharing your items with newbies. You know everything about this game and remember everything. You approach a newbie and tell them you're here to help them. First, you have to go to this, then collect 10 apples and blah, 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 blah. Why play a game if there is no one to chat with? I spend more time chatting than actually playing, and you are a natural social butterfly.
all right. I like being a butterfly. That's good. All right.
Yeah. All right. So you do enjoy playing together with other friends, do you?
Yes. It just yeah. But again, I'm more a kind of a solo player. That's why I like FF14. It's online, but you can play alone most of the time. So it's yeah.
So what's the game that you're playing right now?
Right now, to be honest, I'm not playing anything because I'm developing Pluralys. And if I start a new game, I get depressed. If you could see how much work you have to do something as basic as Pluralys, I can't start Final Fantasy VII Intergrade and see like a fantastic opening cutscene, and that's while I'm working on some kind of stupid shader effect for my game. So right now, I'm literally paused. I'm not even playing anything right now. So, I have a big list of stuff I want to play, but for now, I'm...
So what's like the first one that you want to play after you finish?
Probably the DLC of Cyberpunk.
Okay.
Part 2 of the FF7 remake. And I have a couple. Disco Elysium I wanted to try also. Stuff like that. Hades in English.
Yes, Hades, yes.
Game, so I have to finish it. I see that they announced Hades 2 on Switch 2, I think. So, and yeah, that's about it. Well, I mean, there are a lot of other games, but I have to find time for it. So,
yes, of course. Like each of those games will take forever.
What do you play? Yeah. What do you play yourself?
Oh, me. I mean, I've been playing Dave the Diver a lot recently. And I did play Hades a lot before that as well. But I mean, normally I just play, like good old mobile games here and there when I'm commuting. I mean, a lot of people already know. I play a lot of. I still play some Hearthstone and Wild Rift and stuff like that.
Plays a lot of Wild Rift.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
I do.
I mean, but that's only when I'm commuting, though. Like when I'm at home, I probably play some PC games.
Yeah. Do you know some good RPG when you commute? Because that's one of the things Pluralys. it will be released on PC, on Steam, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's already it's been developed to be compatible with Android and iPhone. But I don't want to use it on phones at the beginning because I don't want people to think it's an iPhone game, like a stupid game.
A port from a phone to a PC.
Yeah, you see what I mean? And it works well. It's been tested on iPhone, on Android, and everything. So I was wondering if you know, because I don't know many RPGs on phones actually, and I think it could be nice to commute. A little game you can play a little bit, go in your adventure, talk to some people. I don't know what you think about it, but in general, not even about Pluralys, but just in general, yeah.
I think it's a good idea. I think one of the things that we've talked about it here on the podcast before is like I have an S25, right? And it's the Quad Dragon or the Snapdragon is more powerful than most midline and top tier laptops.
Right.
And so if you can, I don't know why I've always thought this would be kind of cool to be able to just pull out. And I mean, you can do this with like Google games, but imagine just being able to do with like any game where you could just pull out your phone and you can dock it and do decks. But I mean, making it to where you literally have a whole platform just on top of your phone where it's actually like serious games like you would find on Steam and stuff. I think that'd be.
Well, I mean, I'm surprised. I have a Flip myself, so it's not that powerful, but it works. And I know when I test Pluralys on it, I have almost as much FPS as I have with my GTX on my computer. I know it's a small game; it's not a big 3D game, but those phones are very powerful. Actually, it's pretty impressive. So
yes,
and a lot of RPGs, especially like your RPG I was playing, and that not to downplay them either, has nothing to do with anything, but like a lot of the RPGs, like Zelda type games or like old school Final Fantasies, where you get a group together and you're exploring the world and get into boss fights. I think those are like perfect for mobile. So, you know what I mean? Just because it's just like if it could have worked on a Nintendo or Super Nintendo.
Exactly, and you can stop anytime, you can try again anytime, you can just play. That's why I was wondering. Okay, so I'm not alone thinking about this kind of stuff.
One game I like playing, it's kind of like an RPG, but it is definitely a mobile game on my mobile. I haven't played it for a little bit. I need to go on there. They call it a gotcha or a waifu, but it's Epic 7, and I've always really thought Epic 7 was just like one of the best games on mobile. It's actually made in Korea too.
Yeah, Epic 7 was big, but I think it kind of died out. I don't know if it's
it's still huge. Still huge.
If it's I don't know if it's huge or not, but
I don't know about.
I mean,
it's still huge here.
Yeah, it looks good. You're right.
But yeah, I think it's an awesome idea. It's just, and sometimes if you ever go and look on the Google games, there's games that you can buy that are more robust than just a regular Android game, and they're like $3.
Well, actually, that's one of the things when we checked. Pluralys is probably going to be sold at like $10 or $12, but the same game on Android probably will be $6 or $5 because it's that kind of market. It's difficult to justify a game at $14.
I think people would definitely get scared too. They're like,
I don't know why. Exactly. You don't know what, and you don't know why. And you know what? It's more, especially for this kind of indie game. At least I speak for our game. It's a simple, easy game. So it's not something. I mean, if people play it, I'll just be happy. I don't care if I sell it to $6 or $10.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just for the fun.
I do love that.
Okay,
too.
so good to know. So, so I would probably stick to the idea of not releasing it on Android and iPhone at the beginning, but it works. I test it all the time on Android, and it works as well. So,
Yeah, and a lot of people, you can actually play Steam games on your phone with the Steam link or the Steam link. Yeah, so if your phone can handle it, it's just you can pull it over and play them.
Really?
Epic Game also does mobile games also.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of nice if it can handle it. You can actually just pop it up that way. You don't even have to buy some. It might even be more powerful than some of the handhelds that are being sold.
Again, I'm surprised. I'm really surprised of how powerful it can be. But anyway,
Yep.
Yeah, I mean it's a competitive market. That's why, because like because smartphones are like always competing. They have to come up with like better stuff, better
True.
process. I don't know, better
I mean,
CPU,
think
whatever.
about it. Smartphones is probably close to buying a computer. Also, if you think about the price range.
Yep.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, you have a
Yeah, I mean,
computer. And you're,
yeah, 100%. Well, no, and I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm really sorry. When I did do a ton of mobile streaming and gaming, and I was like super into it. The two biggest markets is China and India, and they are the two biggest countries in the world, population wise, right? So it's like,
Well, you can see
Population-wise,
games
yeah.
like Genshin and everything. It works very, very well. So they know what they do. So, yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but all right.
So look for your
Uh,
game on Android sometime in the future. I got it.
Yes, I'll send you a key. No problem.
I'd rather
okay.
relax and play it though on PC. I won't lie to you. I like
Yeah.
to
I,
with a little
I,
sip of wine.
Yeah,
Like for
I did play a little bit, but then like it felt like a game that I would have to kind of like actually focus while I'm playing. Like I can't be like
a little bit, yeah, you're right.
because like I have to kind of pay attention to all the stories and here and there, and so
Yeah, we just finished implementing the quest book
I
because
think
a lot of our beta testers wanted some kind of. I'm old school, so at the beginning I thought, you know what, you can just think about everything and take note and just play the game. And it doesn't work like that
Yeah.
in 2025. So it's okay. I mean, I don't mind.
I
So
think
it's not.
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to say it's not even because our quests are difficult. It's just that, as you were saying, now there are so many games. So for this kind of game, I think it's good for people to have a place in the menu, just to remind you, you know what, you've seen a guy in the hospital, he tried to read books. Okay, just go and see him, stuff like that. Yeah, so, but you're right, it's that kind of game. But it's a balance. It's the first time I'm developing a game. I've been playing a lot of those games before, and it's fun to see that at some point you think, okay, do I have to give a hint to the player because he has to know what to do, or do I just at some point I think I have to let the player find out, and if you don't find it, well, it's not your kind of game. I mean, at some point it's okay, but it's because otherwise it's boring. I've played games like that before, that at every step they hold your hand all the time, so you don't even know why you're playing anymore. So that's difficult to gauge sometimes.
Yeah, I can see that. I play games where it's really fun to solve puzzles because it makes you feel like super good about yourself. And then ones where you're like, why am I so stupid? And you're just like, I can't.
Yeah. Yes, it's really when you know there is an answer, you're just too stupid to find it. So
Tears.
yeah.
Imagine like in the same spot for like 4 hours, going around in a circle while the answer's like right there in the middle.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I hate
Happened
that.
to me
Happens
many
so
times.
much. And it's
Dude.
something that was in the beginning, and you just went right through the guide and didn't even like
Especially
whatever.
with
I just want to play the game. You're like,
old school games, old school RPGs, like you had the save point at some point, and you have to. And if you don't know, you have to go back and say, "But if I go back, I don't have any more potions, and I'm going to get killed." Now it's
Old school RPG never had auto save. So imagine how
No,
many hours
never.
you lose.
never. You have a save point here, and good luck, my
Yeah.
friend. That's yeah.
And imagine you forgot all that hours you lost.
Oh,
Messed up.
you're down. Game over is game over. That's it. You're
Dude.
crying. Well, that's too bad.
Dude,
Oh,
that's what happened to me when I played test played it Shin Megami Tensei 5. I played for like an hour or 2 hours, and I didn't know there was like no autosave, and then I died, and I had to go back like 2-3 hours before, and I didn't have the whole day because I was just like test playing it at like a media showcase, whatever, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do all that again. Like that's terrible
It's different
experience.
kind of games. Yeah. So I have to be careful about that too. For an RPG, it can be fun to autosave too, because in our case, we have many places where you have a choice and you can do both. So I want to make sure you can't just exit the game, go back and select something else. So if you made a choice you're not happy with, well, that's about it. I make sure I do save just to annoy you. That's it's saved now. You can't go back.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think we can go to the bulletin waypoint now
We
before
could go.
we actually talk for like 2-3 hours. But anyways,
definitely do
so this week we have, we had a lot of good big news here and there, but I think we kind of want to talk about Oblivion, obviously remastered, being announced, and when is it coming out? Is it?
It's already out.
It's already out.
I meant like but it's already out, like on Game Pass too, right?
It's out
Steam
everywhere.
and Game Pass.
Yeah,
Everywhere.
So, yeah, basically everywhere. And also it was kind of fun or funny that like I don't know, it could be like part of their marketing strategy too. Like they intentionally leaked it. I don't know like what it is because like only Xbox would know it, but like not too sure. Because these days, people, especially like leakers, are very, very smart. They try their best to like find out if something is gonna be happening, way beforehand. So
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You do see that.
yeah, but it's a game that a lot of people have been waiting for.
No, actually, I think it's a lot of people that they were surprised.
But like they were surprised, but like they were waiting for they were waiting that for Oblivion to happen, like with remasters or something.
Well,
I
they
don't
were
know.
waiting for Elder Scrolls 6. They were waiting
I
for
was
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
say,
Yes,
I
yes,
said
yes.
I was more expecting Skyrim to be remastered for the 8th time or something like that. But
Yes,
I
yes.
didn't expect it.
I mean,
Remix.
Yeah, why not?
these days there's like nothing is impossible in gaming industry, so you never know.
No,
Especially
But-
when money is involved. Yeah.
it was the 20th anniversary.
Yes.
Oh,
That's
really?
20
Wait till
years
the
ago.
hey, you
20
think
years
this
ago.
one's
That's when,
great?
that's when it came out.
Yeah.
Wait till the 30th anniversary mix. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Well, I didn't know that. At least they had some ray tracing or stuff like that to it. I didn't even check it out.
So
They might add cats to it
So
or
I
something.
watched the whole showcase thing they mentioned. So it was 20 years, and they remastered it using upgrade everything to the Unreal Engine 5.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay, nice.
everything. So they upped the graphics. They added more, up the voiceover, everything. It's like a whole
Even the
new.
voiceover, did they redo it or did they just like remaster it, grade
It's
it?
basically it's more like a remaster. I feel like,
Okay.
but sometimes people say it's a remake, but it's more. They keep saying it's a remaster because, of course, they're using a new engine, an engine that never existed 20 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
But when you look at the comparison from the game when it first came out and now, it looks so different. Like,
Yeah.
it looks fantastic.
It's just basically like a different game almost.
hmm
Well, if it's been 20 years, it's justified at least. Many games. I mean, you were like what, 2 when it came out, so
Yes.
I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting on the remastered version of Ghost and Goblins. So once that drops, whoo boy!
What on Unreal Engine 5?
I need to get this guy's armor back, bro. You know what would be sad though? I would be so depressed because I like the old retro look of it. I would be like if they were like made it a different look. I was like, I don't like it so much.
It's different. I mean, the 3D game. I have more difficulties when it's an old 2D game that they change. For 3D, I mean, I don't mind.
That's different. Yeah.
Polygon look better. You see what I mean? It depends.
Yeah.
Like for Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9, at the time I was playing it on PC, and it was supposed to look better on PC because the 3D graphics were better than on PS1, but it looked worse because your 3D was like very neat, but the background was still as bad as it was on PS1. But on PS1, everything worked together.
That's true.
You had proper
Well, also-
3D, with 2D,
Yeah.
I
And the
think my
TV was
favorite.
different though too. Don't forget,
Yeah.
the TV size was different.
Exactly. So at the time it was different. Now, a 3D game, I mean, do whatever you want with it. So, but yeah,
I
it does
think-
look good. So.
I think one of the biggest examples of that for me was like when they redid Resident Evil 1. So, like when I remember playing Resident Evil 1 for the very first time when it just released, I literally was brand new on PS1 and it was just so scary. Like in your head, it burns into your head like way better graphics than when you go back and play it again. You're like, what the hell? But
It's
when they
exactly.
redid those graphics, it just kind of like
Again, if I take the same example, Final Fantasy VII, everybody my age remembers Aerith getting killed by Sephiroth, and in my head it was like it is now, like a full 3D scene. When you look at the original, you say, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
You're like, what is
Why is that
happening?
guy with the blocky forearms murdering that blocky chick? I don't get
Yeah.
it. They're like,
So
you know what really cracks me up is when I
nostalgia,
go
I
back and
guess. But, yeah.
I go back and I look at Virtual Fighter and I'm like, what the hell? Because I used to think that game was so good. You look
And
at it,
you
you're
still
like,
don't have that with 2D games. If I go back to Street Fighter 2, it still looks good.
oh yeah,
I don't have any
that was the animation style
Street Fighter
too.
2. Yeah.
You know which remaster they actually did really well, and they kept it kind of original when they did the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters.
Yes. They were very smart. Yeah, you're right.
Yes, they kept it still like original in a way.
Yeah. And they did differently. They also did something different with some Zeldas. The old Zelda, when they ported to 3D, it was nice because it was still
Yeah.
you can recognize all the game, but it's 2D from 3D, and it does look the same kind of way. It's when they want to do it well, they do it well. Yeah, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so
I just want DJ Khaled to come out in every game, like it's another one. With a whistle blowing in the background.
I mean, it's good games, so why not? I mean, if you have a
Remix.
Yeah. I think a lot of companies these days are like, they want to come out with remasters or remake of whatever the old IPs they have, because it's like, I'm not saying it's like easy to do it, but like it's, they already have
It's
like
easier.
easier. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's not easy, but it's like easier than like trying to create something totally new and try to,
Yeah.
hook everyone into the game.
And you're
Also,
taking a
marketing
chance.
strategy.
Sorry.
Oh, no, go
No,
ahead.
yeah, it kind of. No, I was gonna say kind of like on what George is saying. Kind of, what I was thinking about the same thing when George was saying is like, I feel like when they make a game and it just pops off, the first game is just so good, right? And maybe even the second one is so good, and it just captures people to the point where they're just like, I love this game. This game is my game, and then they keep making more of that game, like
It's
more
like
series. And
movies
people are
and
kind of like,
series. It's the same thing. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like a good first season, and suddenly everything is crap. But
Yeah.
yeah, and then they're like, how do we recapture the feeling? I know. Let's go back to the original, but make it look less crappy. And they're like,
yeah, after
good
3
idea.
seasons, you're right. And they don't always do it, but again, I mean, I don't think you can fault them. It costs a lot of money to create a game. So if you have something that works, I mean, why not? I was talking about Hades earlier. Even me, it's not my kind of game, but I really loved it. I love playing it. So I can understand them wanting to do Hades 2 in the same idea, strategy. And, because, I've seen in Final Fantasy, as you can see, I play a lot of Final Fantasy. Sometimes they try too much to reinvent. At some point, they just stick to some kind of formula. I mean, to some extent. It's, I know the recent ones, and it's okay. I mean, I can understand the more recent ones are more for a new generation of players, and so it's okay. I have many other games I can play, but it's different. They do it differently. It's much less difficult. We were talking about save games. It's much less difficult, especially now in games. You fail 2 times and you get a pop-up. Do you want to lower the difficulty? No, I don't. I'm not a baby.
I'm the worst. I'm the guy that all my friends get mad at because like, what do you want to start off? And I was like, let's just go hard. And they're like, you sure? I'm like, sure. About 30 minutes in, they're like, we're going back to medium. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
Don't get achievements. I mean, let me go back down. Just keep the achievements. You can play. You don't win anything. That's it.
I think one thing too is I think the games are that I like the games that have just the stories you want to keep going on, like on and on because you love the stories. Those are the games that I feel like you can honestly just keep making versions of because they're like reading another version of a book. You know what I mean? Because you're just like, what's going to happen with this guy? What's Leon going to do? Or where's, and so it's like all these things that build up. I think that's one thing that if you can capture just people loving your characters in the very first one, that's paramount.
I really think it's very similar to movies. You have to do it. I think there is some kind of luck involved. You have to have some kind of good chemistry. it's hard. Again,
Yeah.
same example, Final Fantasy VII. You have a weird vampire into it. Why is there a vampire in the middle of the game? When you look at it now and you have Kate sits, you don't even know it's a robot with a cat on it. You say, what the hell? But they made it work.
Yeah. I think
There are fans for each character, though.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess like nowadays you have to capture every single type of different like fans, I guess,
Exactly.
fan base.
Now it's going to be analyzed. Who is going to like what in what segment?
Yep.
I'm pretty sure when they created Kate Sid, they had no idea. If nowadays in this kind of development say, well, let's throw in a vampire and a robot and a cat, it wouldn't go anywhere.
Because I think it feels like, I don't know, it feels like, old days, it's like if you like come up with a game, then you have fans of the game, but then it feels like, now you have to think about what fans will like before developing a game. It feels like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly.
So
that's what they do with Star Wars now.
Yeah,
for every series of Star Wars, it's what do people want in this? Stop it. Do something good, and we'll see if we like it or not. Otherwise, I agree with you.
Yeah. But I think there's a lot of risk in it too, I guess, because it's all about money too. Because like, if you make, like, these days making a game is like really expensive. So like if you flunk, I don't know, like if a game doesn't, if a game flops, then it's like millions of or hundreds of millions of dollars. Like,
that's true, but the opposite is true too. Games are bad and it's not going anywhere. So,
if it fails, it's a whole bunch of people getting fired.
Yeah, that's
and then we talk about it.
Especially if the price of games keep going up, as you notice.
Yeah. I've noticed on Reddit everybody complaining about the new Donkey Kong and everything. So yeah.
I'm not even gonna go into it, man.
The Mario, what is it? The Mario World, the new one. That's $80 or something.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
You know what's the hardest thing for me with that, and I understand why the money went up because they pay more people to make the games, right? But the thing that I always remember is when I was a kid. I can't remember where I saw it or whatever. They had this whole, I don't remember what company they talked to, but the company's like, the reason why games cost so much at GameStop, right? Because that's where you got them. There's no digital downloads. But they're like, it's because we have to pay the people to transport the game. We got to pay for the people to put for the cases and the cover art and all this other stuff. And you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
You know what?
And now they're like,
because I remember when everything went digital, like, I don't know what, 15 years ago or something, I remember a lot of people were expecting prices to go down. And I remember because we were saying, okay, so it's $60 if I own a physical copy and $60 if it's digital and I can just lose my license every time. And they didn't change it. People bought licenses and that's it. But
and also if you don't own the game, because if you have it on Steam, you're like, I don't know, renting out lease stuff or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
like that's a big argument too.
You kind of own it though.
Well, that's the thing. Yes. That's Ubisoft's big argument right now with their lawsuit.
It is a big argument. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because they're like, the people are mad about the game. They're like, well, we can't play it anymore. And we bought it, and they're like, well, you didn't really buy it; you just bought an instance of it, and then
the license from it's very bad, very very bad.
But I have games that I bought for my Xbox One and 360. I can still play.
Yeah, but you know what?
That is the problem, though. Oh, that is the problem because if they stop doing support on the game, that's the reason.
You know what? For me, it's worse. I really think because I see in my desk in my desktop many physical games, but I really think there's a difference many people don't do nowadays. It's the updates, because I still have my physical copy of FF7 and whatever, and it works as originally. I put it in my PlayStation 1. It will work as I placed it. Now, okay, sure, go buy on day one a digital copy of Oblivion. Okay, yeah, I own the physical copy. Try to play it in 2 or 3 years. You will, if they don't support it anymore, you won't have any update. We'll have the original version that was printed on the disc that is worth nothing because it's probably full of bugs, full of weird issues that got fixed when you got the updates. But if they stop updating it, you're done. Like, imagine for Cyberpunk. Everybody knows about Cyberpunk for this.
Yep.
So I do have a physical copy of Cyberpunk. What is it worth? Nothing works correctly. Now, Cyberpunk works very well. But if in 10 years I want to install the physical copy, I won't get anything. that it won't work.
Well,
And also
yeah,
keep
I
in
mean,
mind as well, one more thing is anytime you play a game, even if it's a disc, you have to be connected online.
Sometimes, yep,
Yes,
yep, yes, yep, yep.
some of them,
Some of them,
and
yes,
that's
you do
why
have to.
Yeah.
I remember when they first started talking about that, when that first became a thing, and a lot of people were pissed. They're like, I just want my game to be standalone, which there is games that are standalone now still anyways, but they're like, I just want a standalone game so I could play it. And at the time I never processed why they'd be so upset about having online things until now that we're in the future where people are literally like, oh yeah, we're not going to be updating that game and or having anything. And it's Charlie just going to not
and
just
that's it.
cease to
Especially if your
exist.
game
Yeah.
needs, if it needs some kind of feedback from the server, like Pluralys is sending some stats to my server because I want to
Yeah.
know if you finished the quest. Yeah, I don't give, if the server is down, it's down. That's it. I don't give a damn. But
right.
if a game needs your server, that's it. Yeah, you're right. That's why it's different. I really think it's very, very different. People don't take into account all those updates, all this kind of stuff. It's going to be very different. Like I built an old arcade, a big cabinet with an arcade in it. You can download all the ROMs from before. You can get all those games. They work as before. You won't be able to do that with this generation of games. You won't. You won't get
Especially
the
with the Switch 2.
game. More than the Switch one. Yeah.
Because with the Switch 2, you heard that if you buy the physical, you have to download the game.
Always, really?
Yes. Even though it's a physical cartridge, you put it in there, it goes
And it
in,
needs
but it
to,
still downloads the game. It's like
Really?
basically it's like a key to open the
Oh
library.
god. It's, what is
Okay, so
what
it's worthless completely, basically. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I hate that.
it's a
I don't
shame.
think. I mean, I don't think like
So they call the Switch
I
2
hate it too.
cartridge.
yeah, like I mean, if you buy a physical freaking copy, then you have to have it in the physical thing that you bought, like not just freaking plug
But
it
as I
in.
was saying, if they create a key, it's not
So,
physical.
but some of them are exempted. For example, like you said, Cyberpunk coming to Switch on Switch 2. It will be on the cartridge itself.
Yeah,
Because
that's
it's a
good.
very
That's
big
good. That's
game.
good.
It's not even. It's still. If I don't like the idea to buy any, at least you have some copy of the game. If you tell me you
Yeah.
can't even play it without, it's bad.
Yeah,
That's the
bad.
problem.
Yeah, that's basically like giving you a QR code of the game. Like basically, you have the QR code and scan it and you download
mean,
it.
The more you look at it, everything is going digital.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, some things
But
has
you know
to.
what? You have it everywhere. I see it with music, actually. Like my kids,
Yeah,
even me now, I just listen on everything online. I still buy some albums on iTunes because I want them here. But I see it. It's a little bit like Netflix when suddenly your show is gone. And
Yeah,
you
here
notice-
it's
Yeah.
gone. It's gone. Yeah,
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 it's gone.
same
Gone.
thing.
You don't even realize it. At some point, you are listening to something, and it's not in your playlist anymore. But they do that also in YouTube Music and Spotify. Sometimes albums and artists just
Yeah.
disappear, and
Yeah.
that's it. I mean, I'm
That's
still listening
why-
to music I was listening 30 years ago. I still have
Yeah.
the CD. It works well.
And I think that's that's 100%. And I think about it too because I buy movies on Prime all the time, so I own movies on Prime. But what if Prime just
Oof.
ceased to exist?
What if you can't get banned?
Yeah. Yes, that's another thing actually. If you get banned, what do you do? Yeah, that's,
because
Jeez.
Don't,
Steam
hey,
accounts
hands off my Scott Pilgrim versus the
on
world.
Steam.
Okay.
If you have like a lot of digital games to Steam and your account gets banned, that's you lost all your games. You need to buy them all again.
Bro, what kind
Yeah,
of
but
world
you're
are we
right,
living
you're
in
right.
right now?
at
Let's leave,
least
George. Let's
Steam,
get out
I
of this
think,
world.
is smart enough to play nice. Because as soon as people realize this, they're going to be pissed off. That's for sure.
Yeah, of course.
It's a very good play. For me, I do both now. I buy it and I download it somewhere else. That's why. I mean, I bought it. I don't feel bad. I mean, it's okay. I bought your game. I just want to make sure I have a copy of it. Like on GOG or Cyberpunk and stuff like that. You buy it, you download it. That's it. It's yours. It's
Yeah, same thing.
I think if we kind of continue with this conversation, it's going to be like a 5-hour
For years.
podcast.
Oh,
yeah.
you can.
Yeah, so let's jump into the
Longest
companion waypoint.
podcast of all
Yeah, we
time.
could do like a world record of. I'm just kidding. So let's let's watch the trailer of Pluralys because we have to.
The teaser. It's a teaser. The
It's a
new
teaser
trailer.
of the teaser of the Pluralys with music because music is important, everyone, right? Let's watch it
You
together.
can, yeah. You can use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a small teaser. Doesn't look like it, but there is a lot of work in this. If you knew. Oh well. Yes, wishlist now. It's important nowadays. Yeah.
Very, very
So,
important.
yeah.
Thank you for showing the trailer, the teaser. Yeah.
I was going to ask, where's that guy's pants? I'm obsessed with you.
Yeah, pants? What?
I was just now thinking about.
I sent you the wrong version of Pluralys. I'm sorry about that. I sent
No,
you
I'm
the,
messing with you. I know because I had all these questions I wrote down to play in the demo and stuff, and I was just watching it, and I was like, the TV guy's got a shirt. He ain't got no pants.
That's fine.
he's
that's
Winnie
okay.
the Pooh in it.
That's okay. That's okay.
We're very inclusive. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Life is too short for pants.
yeah, what
Yeah,
are you talking about?
you
Pants
say
are
that.
overrated.
You say that, but last time I said that, I got arrested. Oh, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
Again,
there's
you're in Texas, so you know.
yeah, there's saying it and there's actually doing it. So
That's true.
Listen, where's Vaughn, son?
anyways, actually, this game when I actually played some of the demo of it, it reminded me a lot of the old school kind of RPG that I used to play when I was younger, a lot younger, like in my teenage years. And I actually loved it because, like back in the day, like, before all these 3D or all these different RPGs came out to life, it was all about, the Game Boy type of thing, or, if it's PCs, like, all about like moving up, down, and sideways, and talking to these characters and kind of unfolding and trying to figure out what the story is about, actions in between, obviously. So that was actually, I really enjoyed it. Kind of reminded me.
It's a nice feedback. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so that was good. I mean,
so yeah, it's basically it's the idea. I'm pretty lucky now because, like as I was saying, I've always wanted to do a video game. I'm probably not alone learning how to do software development to do a video game. But for many years, nowadays the indie scene is very strong, very big. A lot of people know about all those games. But it's not been the case. Again, like 10, 15 years ago, you had indie games, but they were not that popular.
Yeah.
So it was very daunting to think I'm going to do a video game, and you look at all the AAAs and you think, I'm not doing a video game. That's not even a vaguely possible thing I can do. So when I started this one, that's exactly what I wanted to do. Try to do something simple, a little bit old school, but as you probably noticed, the resolution of the game is much higher than on old school games. When I started to look at a little bit what was being done, many games now are still in very low resolutions. It's a style. It looks well. I mean, I don't mind it. But I thought, why not just do this kind of game with a little bit higher resolution, basically. So a little, and it's still, as you were mentioning, it's still a pretty simple game. You just walk up, left, right, down. You talk to people. There is no battle in it. One reason being that it's in this kind of game I've played before. When they try to add a battle system, and if they don't do it well, it's just boring. You just mash your button, and you just want to see where the story is going. So for our game, it's a lot, many mini games. You would have some mini games here and there in the game, and that's the kind of game you play just for the story. Basically, you play the story and you try to find the quests. You have different ways to progress in the game, and I hope people will like it. Yeah.
Yes, I will. I think a lot of people will appreciate it and like it. And also, I agree with I think it feels like indie game is at its peak right now. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like next year, probably it'll go like grow even bigger. I don't know that. I don't know, but like
I'm
I think
wondering how many, like last time I've checked, it's like 50 or 60 games every day that's released on Steam. So it's a lot of games.
yeah. I think it was like a
Some
crazy
some
number.
succeeds, some doesn't.
Yeah, but it's difficult to get noticed. That's it.
Yeah,
So,
that's a
so
problem.
thank you for the podcast, actually. So
Yeah.
it's very difficult. Even if you have the best game in the world, it's very difficult to say, "Hey, look, we're here."
Yeah,
It's, try
that's
it.
why marketing is also important too.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, but then like at the same time, like indie studios, especially solo devs, can't afford to pay for marketing or like don't know how to do marketing. So that's like a real, I don't know.
We have a nice guy specialized in marketing wanted to be. I mean, we are in the team now. We're 7 with an
Okay.
intern also, and one of those people is specialized in marketing.
Oh, that's good.
I didn't want to hire anybody in marketing before, but he was very passionate about the game, like everybody else. So we're lucky enough to have somebody to take care of this.
Oh, nice.
So that's already nice.
That's
But even then, it's difficult.
It's
He's working
very
out.
difficult.
Everybody's working
Yeah.
out, but again, at least I want people to see we're here. Give us a try.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
we'll be
it is fun. Could you tell us a little bit about the story of Pluralys or like a sneak peek of it?
I can, but not too
Yeah,
much.
don't do it too much because
No, I plan on playing it. Okay.
Yeah, spoilers.
don't
Funny
spoil
spoilers.
anything, but like a basic game description, like story of what or.
It's I can tell you, I don't know how to say it. The premise looks very simple. You're this person, Ellie, who is called Ellie, who just with his friend, he gets a visit of somebody he doesn't know, and some kind of. It looks pretty generic at the beginning. The idea is for you to get surprised.
Okay.
And
Yeah, of
not
course.
just
Yep.
once, but times in the game. So I don't want to oversell it, but it's on purpose. As you were saying earlier, like in the game, you begin in a hospital.
Yes.
I didn't want to begin in a village like every other RPG on Earth. You start in your house in a village. Look, now you're going there. It's no. So we tried some different stuff. We got very positive feedback. Actually, I'm pretty surprised so far. So that's good. So it's simple, but you'll get something you don't expect from this kind of game. I hope.
Okay.
At least enjoyment. So,
All right.
telling you a little more about the story. At least I can tell you have, in addition to the humans, normal people in the game, you have some stranger NPCs, like you probably seen in the trailer. The idea is not the story is not centered around them. The idea is more like a background story that you have more kind of people in this world for reasons you'll understand when playing the game. And the idea was just to make it more fun instead of just having the usual stereotype of people. So you have those people coming from someplace else. But I'm like, spoiler alert, I'm a big fan of Star Trek in general. So you have some inspiration from Star Trek.
Wait a minute, stop.
Good taste.
Stop.
So,
Okay.
What's your favorite crew? What's your favorite crew?
Next Gen and Voyager, probably.
Jean-Luc Picard?
Yes, of course, Jean-Luc Picard, the French guy speaking English on British.
Hey, that's a hard one because I like both. I grew up with I grew up with him, and I grew up with
DS9 and
what's his name? Now I already forgot it, but
Avery Brooks in DS9.
I actually grew up with all of them. Actually, no, my mom used to. Me and my mom used to watch the originals with
William
Frank Shatner or William Shatner.
William.
I'm trying to think. The actor's name was popping in my head at the same time the captain's name was popping in my head. So
I'm more like a Next Gen and DS9 and Voyager kind of guy.
I just remember there's two cool things. One captain is like real smooth, like Jean-Luc Picard was very smooth, right? Very smart, very Professor X. But then you got Shatner, who was just like that ladies' man and always like,
but Shatner is like 20 years before. something like that. I mean, it's not the same generation. Yeah, that's for sure.
No, but yeah.
But so, for this kind of reason, that's something that inspired me for the setting of the game, is having people from, I mean, it sounds cliche, but people from out of space that are here. But again, the story is not about them. They're just here. They're doing stuff. You'll see. You have
Just hanging out.
See what I mean?
Okay.
It's like multicultural. It's nice.
Okay.
I wonder what that green guy was doing sitting in that chair. I was like, he
Ah,
doesn't
you'll
look normal.
see.
Yeah, don't. You just have to play it, okay? You just have to play it when it comes out.
I did play it. What are you
No, like
talking about?
when it actually comes out, like full release.
That's why I
Nick-
asked you to tell me when you're done playing it, because I was like, did I reach the stopping point of the demo? Because I was like,
Yeah, no.
I was like, I can't solve any of the problems.
You will have a quest book soon, so you will get it. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't forget, it's an RPG game, so that means a lot of hours.
A lot of hours.
It's
I really
as
honestly,
many hours as we can do in the time frame we have. You know, that's one of the reasons. Another problem with this kind of game is that at some point you have to stop. We have ideas to do a lot of stuff, but I mean, when I check the stats, it's about 95% of games are never released. So not even that they are not good; they are just not released at all because it went nowhere. So I want, one of my main objectives from the beginning. It sounds weird, but that's a real objective, is to release a video game. So to make sure.
well, oh, sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I honestly, from playing when I played, it felt like you definitely get the RPG vibe, and as you talked about other stuff earlier, like Final Fantasy and all that other stuff. I immediately loved the layout. I love the pixel art, and then I don't know why it is when I play games that are RPGs, when you go up to talk to people, and then the picture drops, and then you can see like them as like an anime character or whatever, and like really, and they're like, "Boop, boop, 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 boop." I was like, I don't know why I dig it so much, but I did.
That's nice, thank you. Because we at some point we asked the graphic designer to redo all the faces. So because they were actually, it's his fault, because they were much more simple. Because again, we have to save time. At some point, I have 2 graphic designers, so I mean, I don't have a whole team.
Hey,
and
no, it's just really
some simple stuff, and they all look good. And in a meeting at some point, he said, "You know what? I tried some stuff. What do you think about it?" It was this beautiful face anime character. I said, "Well, God, man, now they all have to look like this. That's about it."
Yeah.
So
you can't just have one really good looking one and be like, what happened to the other guys?
Everyone has to be good looking now.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think that's cool, because like to me, like you get that downward pixel view, and I like the little pixel view of the characters, and it's kind of like a representation of them. But then once you engage in that person and they're talking, then you get the actual like what they look like. I don't know why I get that, but I thought the one thing I automatically was really digging is the fact that I wasn't out fighting monsters. I was in a hospital running around trying to solve hospital stuff. And I was like, okay, all right, I like this. But even though some of the stuff was like, go to so-and-so's office, and then they're like, some old guy's gone. I'm like, who cares? Like, hey, let him be gone, man. But I mean, I work in a hospital in real life. So if an old person goes missing, I'm like, hopefully somebody finds him.
You should be happy at the end of this quest, actually, if you worked in a hospital. So you'll see what happens. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, no. So I like
that's one thing. One thing I want to make sure in the game is to make it fun. So again, even if it's less hours in the end, I'm trying. I'm not sure we'll succeed, but I'm trying to make it fun. So that's one thing.
I thought it was pretty fun. But I think the question I had was like, what was that your intention to make an RPG, but kind of pull it out of like normal? Because I'm seeing that a lot more now, as people are making RPGs, but they're not tying into the old, you ran into like dolphins that are trying to murder you on the seas, or or goblins. Like you're actually doing like problems inside of a hospital, and I felt like that was a really unique view of it.
It was my first pitch to myself, because I wrote this. Again, I'm counting in weeks, so I think it's week 64 since the beginning. And I was alone. I thought, you know what? I've always wanted to do a game. Let's see if I can find something. I had a 10 hours flight to somewhere. So I started, and one of my first line was, "No dungeons, no dragons." I thought, you know what? keeps being, not because I don't like it, it's because it's been done and done and done
Mhm.
again.
Yeah.
I
I
mean, I
totally agree
won't
with
beat
that.
Oblivion. Like we were talking about Oblivion, I will not beat Oblivion. So let's
No.
not try.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that
I-
was my original. So that's why I thought let's make it fun. Some little games to make it more interesting. So our little games often come with a chat box. So you have the chat box, and above you'll have some games playing, and you have to do some stuff. So it keeps stuff interesting. At least
I
we
like
hope.
that. I like that. It's super cool. I mean, you could always have the dungeon be like the basement and the dragon be like the
Oh,
boiler.
there are some jokes in preparation. Don't
The
worry about
boiler.
that.
Wow.
Yeah.
The heater goes off or something like we got to take it up. We got to fix it.
Yeah.
And they're just
Don't worry about that. We have many possible jokes about it. Now it's more the problem is that you're in a meeting, you talk about all of this, and suddenly you have all those nice ideas, and you see the graphic designer. It's like, oh my god, no!
Yeah,
I can do
I got
a
more work to
dragon
do.
and some effects and do some nice stuff. Because you know, one of my main objectives personally was to create the whole engine by myself. So we use a Game Maker Studio to develop the game, not Unity. And I really wanted to do everything. Like, I mean, I've been doing software for 30 years again. So it's been quite some time developing this, even if it is simple, you know, a chat box about it, but you still have to code it. I mean, like you start with a little blue box walking, you know, and you go from there. And now that everything, the engine and the quest engine, everything we've done works very well, it's fun to create some new quests, but now it's more time for like the graphic designer, the guy working on the dialogues and everything, because you have a nice idea and now said, okay, do it. Just create the guys, the faces and everything.
Yeah, it feels like, if you're actually creating an RPG game, especially in an RPG game, it feels like, you have like it's endless, almost endless like ideas. You want to add this, add that. I have like this crazy story, maybe like mini game, side quest, whatever. But then like you can't.
Exactly.
But then
Big
yeah,
one. Yeah.
yeah, but that you can't have everything in the game because like that will take one forever to develop. Two, like what if the game comes out, but then like if it's too long or like I don't know, like some kind of trend changes like in between, and then you can't like sell it to the people. That means like you're like all the effort and the time and probably some money into it is like gone to waste as well. So like it feels like you have to know, especially if you're like creating a RPG game, like as a indie like a developer or like someone like a project manager, whatever role that you have to know where to cut it, where to like add it, and then like how to trim it in a way that it's
You have to.
yeah.
Especially in games like that. You know, we were talking about licenses. And again, I'm an old school guy. So if you buy my game, it's yours. There's no handshake. You want to pirate the game? Well, too bad for me, but what do you want me to do? So, and for this kind of thing, that also means that, I can do updates, and I hope we'll have enough people to play. We already have ideas for a new game plus mode and stuff like that. But it's not like when I see my girl is playing right now Zenless Zero something.
Yeah, Zenless Zero.
Zenless Zone Zero.
Zone Zero. Yeah.
Yeah.
ZZZ. Yeah.
Zenless Zone. That's a pretty good game.
Something like Genshin Impact. For the developers, it's probably nice because I see this kind of game, the way they do it, because it's always online, they can add to the story every couple of weeks. Like when I play Final Fantasy XIV, it's the same thing. You can develop the story. But for me, for this kind of game, I want the game to be done. So I hope I'll be able to update it in the future, but I can't release a game saying, oh, the next chapter will come out soon. That was one of the ideas originally, but I don't like it, especially for this kind of small game. I don't think it would warrant saying, oh, wait another 3 months for the next 3 hours of game. It's I don't know what to think about it.
Trying to remember. I remember an RPG game did that once where they made like a one chapter, and the next second chapter came out like 9 months later,
Mhm.
and people forgot about it.
That was yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
That was something that I kind of liked, even though I paid $5. I mean, I didn't think it was that much, But I thought was kind of fun about Telltale Adventures. Like they would have one story, and if you wanted to play the next one, you'd pay $5, and then you would pay $5. You know, and then you got.
But, but,
world.
but the story was already there, though, right? It was already available.
Yeah, it was one of those ones that like, hey, if you want to play the next chapter, but I felt like every time I paid that $5, and you would get like hours of play with that, right? I don't know if you guys have played the Telltale Walking Deads or the
Yeah, but if you have to justify it, you're right. But at least you have to make sure what you do is good, because if you tell people now pay to get more, so I'd rather have a game for now that has a complete story. And you know what? If it works well and we're happy, well, we can always develop a sequel, an extension, whatever. Why not? That's a best case scenario. I'd be happy to throw in some stuff. And if it works well, I won't even make people pay for it. I don't care. You play the game, nice, cool. I mean, here is it.
I like that. I like that.
But
I know. I was just. Yeah. No. I think that's awesome. Honestly. Yeah, I think that's super awesome.
I can hope. I mean, that's. But the main goal is to release a game again. So that's why, as I was saying, I have different caps for me. But as a project manager, I do have to make sure. Okay, this was a very nice idea. We were going to do this and that. But one thing I had a problem we had this month actually. We realized the story was too big actually. So that's basically what we were talking about. And I made sure last year to not make it, expensively big and everything. But still, for what we had, I realized it was too big. So, but the good news is by doing some cuts here and there, I really think now the game is better actually.
Okay.
Because it tended to be more complicated, but I think it was fun if the game had in it like 40 or 50 hours of game. Yeah. But this kind of game, let's say we'll have 10 or 15, I don't know. So I want to make sure 10 or 15 hours you have are nice, not like, oh, we're going everywhere, and at the end says, that's it, that's the end, what the hell happened? So that's something we're trying, at least.
10 to 15 hours is not too bad.
I'm wondering,
You don't have to like have 20, 30, 40 hour games every single time.
Yeah. Well, especially if we don't have a balance system, you don't need that.
Yeah.
Because most RPG game that has balance system, so many hours.
Exactly, because you grind all the time. I don't want this.
Yeah. If you don't have a balance system, then it's good.
I think a long game is like a long movie that you want to end. Yeah. There's some movies you don't want to end, or like say a series, right?
You know what? That's enough. Yeah,
there's some movies you're like, this is so good, and then there's movies you're like it's like 30, 40 minutes, like that's appropriate. But there's some movies you watch and you're like, what is going on? Like it should have been over.
You just want to end of the story.
It's like the idea is
what's gonna happen?
A movie. Yeah. Like
I don't know. Did you guys watch Severance, the series on Apple TV? Severance.
I haven't watched it. I've heard good things about that series though.
It's very good, but in season 2, there was at least one episode for me where I was like, okay, it's nice, fine, you're in love, that's good. Can we just move on now to the next scene? So it's a very good series. That's fantastic.
I think like some of the good drama series or some of the series are like that. They're like if a good ending, if there's a good ending, then it should end it like without extending it to like season 25 or something.
Exactly.
I know they'll probably make money, but then still, like Walking Dead had what 70 to 1 seasons.
Will make money.
To end in season 2, and that's it. Do 1 season, 2 seasons, that's it. Done. You're all dead, and that's about it.
Yeah. I will say though, there are some shows that it only got a couple seasons. That once they did kill, like they said, that's no more. I was like really depressed.
But then they killed it. Like some of the good ones.
But they're making a season 4. Thanks to you letting me know there, buddy. So.
But at least you keep a good, like Game of Thrones is a very good example of this. Like they kept it going, and at some point say it's not. I mean, it's not the same.
I was that way with Walking Dead. Like I was a huge Walking Dead. I collected the comic books. I had all that stuff. Like I loved Walking Dead, and I think it got to season 9 or 10, and I was like, okay, I'm I'm over it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, kill Rick or something already. Kill somebody. I'm
When I
whatever.
was younger, it was X-Files for me. I watched a lot of X-Files and at
I
some
loved
point,
X-Files.
it was very nice, but it's like season 6 and Scully is turning to Mulder. Oh, but why do you think those are aliens? What the hell? It's been 6 seasons. You've seen all the aliens and the conspiracies.
I
and everything.
mean,
You see all this crazy stuff. You're like, wait, there is aliens. You're like,
yeah, really? Well, I don't know about that.
but it's different between old X-Files. I don't want to get off your game for too much. I kind of want to keep the heat on your game,
Yeah,
but
sure.
those the old shows and the new stuff though is you couldn't binge X-Files. Like you had to wait for a day to come out for the new one. So you had to be like, oh, Sunday night, I'm gonna watch some X-Files. But now you could just sit and watch like a whole series through a weekend. So it's a little different though. You know what I mean?
It's different.
yeah.
And it could be a good, for you guys who are doing podcasts, it would be probably interesting to see how games evolved like this also, because we were talking about older games earlier. And even me, for the games I loved when I was younger, some of them I can still play them. I'm very happy. Some of them, like RPGs with a battle system, I said, it's not fun anymore. Like some of them say it's at the time it was perfectly normal. I had to grind and I had to now I don't know. Sometimes it's too much.
Did you like the old classic RPG, like turn-based?
Yeah, of
Like
course.
command,
He like
command?
Final Fantasy.
Bro,
I
Final
tell you,
Fantasy.
I know,
I was
but
very
like,
disappointed when they stopped it actually, because I was so
Yeah.
used to having my cursor here and say, "What am I doing?" I see my 8 keys here, and you're trying to guess what's going to happen. So yeah, I did play this. Yeah.
yeah, but you could see how much it changes with the battle system, and now it's like really fast paced. You
Yes.
can't think.
Yeah.
You gotta go
Yeah,
more
but that's
press
why
button
sometimes
pretty
you go
fast.
back, and for some games, I really think it still works very well, and some you don't know why. You know that okay, it's a part of the game where I have to fight 50 mobs so that I get my level higher, and especially at the time, you know that if you go too fast, you get to the boss. It's not like now everybody is used to the boss being often it adapts itself to you. You know, its level is somewhere between this and this, depending on your level. At the time, I remember if you didn't have a proper level, you were getting killed very quickly, and you had to go back to the mobs and say, "I have to
Yes.
get more."
I gotta buff up.
Yeah, exactly. You know? You have to
I
find
need
some
better
big
gear and I
material.
need bigger muscle, baby. All right. I mean, that's kind of like in life, right? I mean, that'd be a good analogy for life.
Yeah, when
right?
in
You can't
life,
beat
when you
life.
die
That's
in
good.
life, you can't
When
really
you
get back.
level up, you burst at your next level.
Oh god.
Yeah, but in life, the problem is that at some extent, when like me in level 44, you start getting down. So your level is going up, but your stats are going like this. So it's,
That's
yeah.
inverse. Yeah. So that's good. Yeah, but I think especially a lot of people who are used to the like old JRPs are gonna appreciate Pluralys too. And all the
Oh,
people
yeah.
that are like new people who are like new generation gamers who like would like to find out what kind of crazy story is gonna unfold and
Thank you. Yeah, we
gonna
had some
happen.
again good feedback from younger people. I was wondering, but I'm a bit surprised to have a younger crowd. Like I have people in my beta testers who are like 15, 16, and some of them it's not that kind of game. That's okay. It's an RPG. But
Yeah.
for many of them, I was surprised that they just like it. They send me a message, say, "What do I do now? What am I supposed to do?" And so there's hope. So we'll see. So, we're working hard on it. That's for sure. You can believe it. We are all working very hard on it. So yeah.
Do you plan on like I'm guessing, and I'm just asking questions during this? Is there going to be any like? Are you going to be doing any like? I thought about this when I was gaming. Is like, is there going to be any missions or anything like that where you actually have to do like operations on people or? You know what I mean?
People, what do you mean?
Yeah, you know, like you're a doctor, so I don't know if you walk in, but like,
Surgery. He wants to do surgery.
Oh my gosh.
You know what? Yes and no, actually, because if you play like you're about the end with the doctor scene in the hospital, and it's not surgery, but it's more interesting. It involves a baby in the end. So yeah. and
All
you do get
right. So you would have to actually play it to find out.
yeah. You have
You know
to.
what I just thought of that would be funny though.
So yeah,
Did
you
you know how,
will
like-
have something to do as a doctor. You can be sure of that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the old RPGs when you walk up and some stuff would jump out of the bushes. You could be like a doctor and you walk up and a whole bunch of germs come out and you're just like, use Windex. I don't know.
Let's add that to the pile of ideas. Why not? But no, you will have something with a doctor. So play a little bit more. You will see about it. Yeah.
That's fun.
Oh, you got me wish listed. So I wish listed you
thank
after
you.
playing it.
Yeah, I wish listed it too, of course.
That's very nice.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially now. I noticed. I was looking at how Steam works nowadays with the stats, and it's pretty interesting when you see that they do track all of that. So if you get some traction, then suddenly they're going to show your game a little bit more. But the opposite is also true. So if they show your game and not enough people wishlist it, like a percentage, they won't hide it, but they won't suggest it. It's a big market basically. And I can understand why. Again, 50 games every day, they have to make sure they separate, the good and the bad stuff. So
Yeah.
Sweetness. So when do you plan to release it? Do you know, have like a window of release date?
it's supposed to be this November.
Oh, this November. Okay, so you got still like about half a year to go.
Yeah, but it's not that much. So, believe me, it's not that much. But yeah, it's supposed to be by the end of the year. Again, we want to make sure that you played it a little bit, so you saw. I want to make the game is working well. No, day one release that's crashing every 10 minutes. So yeah, that's about it. We are hiring. We hired 2 more people recently to make sure we have enough people to do what we need. Yeah, okay. Why are you laughing? What's the problem?
Oh, he makes me laugh.
Oh,
I make everybody laugh.
Anthony had me cracking up because sometimes I look at emojis he sends, and I think that reminds me of him. Especially this one.
So I know.
Wait, is it playable on the Steam Deck? I haven't tried the Steam Deck yet.
I mean, if it's on Android, I'm sure you could do it on Steam Deck, right?
Yes,
Well,
but
it has full controller support. That's why. So I was thinking.
Yes, actually, that's a strange one because I haven't tested it yet. I have to because I don't own a Steam Deck actually, unfortunately. So I get one, or I have a friend who has one. But I checked in Steam. You have a whole documentation as a software developer where they explain to you everything you can do, like the achievements and stuff like that. So it works well. But when you get to the Steam Deck part, they have a little Steam Deck compatible stuff. And actually with Oblivion, they're all happy to say, oh, we have the marker. But when you get to the section of what they call the workshop in Steam, they clearly tell you, as long as your game is not popular enough, you don't even get the option to check officially if it works or not on the Steam Deck. So I said, okay. Well,
Okay.
Yeah. So I will test it. I will make sure it works. But so I can put in the description, of course it works. So I would support the joystick and everything. So that won't be a problem. But Steam won't tell people it works on the Steam Deck. They seem to be pretty jealous about this. They want to make sure they don't put their stamp of approval on everything. So that's
sounds about right.
Yeah.
It's, yeah. I mean, the worst are Nintendo. We want to release on Switch, of course. For this kind of game, it would be a nice
perfect.
Switch.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
And I didn't even apply yet because Nintendo, you have to convince them that your game is not crap, basically. So I want to make sure we have a nice, And again, good for them. I don't mind. So I want to make sure we do the Steam Next in June.
Yeah.
And then I can contact Nintendo, say, look, we have a game. It's not that bad. What do you think about it? Why not? So we'll see.
Nice. All right. I
Nice.
think it's about time to kind of wrap up things. Do you guys have any more questions? Like last questions, Zach and
I
Anthony?
have 40 more questions. 40.
I know we have 40,
No,
but then you got to pick one out of the hat.
Pick one.
Join me
No,
on Discord. Yeah.
I just I'm just excited for it to release.
Yeah.
I really did enjoy it. I thought it was like everything that you are kind of aiming for. I really dig. Like I dig that RPG element, like I said, and I love the fact that it was in a hospital. There's another game that I won't mention because I mention it all the time, and George is tired of it. But it's also an RPG type game, but it's not
Which one?
like you said, no dungeons and no dragons, right? And I just love when people mix that RPG element, but they put it in like different things.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's hard. So
Yeah.
like at first I was like, what am I playing? And then I noticed I was in a hospital.
But
And I was
thank
like,
you,
hey,
because that's really something I really didn't want to start in a village.
Yes.
Like what we see in the teaser, we start in a village because in the
I mean-
teaser, we have the opposite problem.
I mean,
I think if I start in a hospital and people don't, I say, what the hell is going on? What is this? So
yeah, that's the first thing I said was like, okay,
Yeah.
let's see what
Yeah,
this
you're right.
where this goes.
but,
And then they
because
find out you're trying to cover for your
every
buddy.
time we start in a village in the forest. It's,
Yes.
I love that.
so thank you very much.
It feels like there's like a famous meme, like, you know, don't let anyone, like other people, guess your next move. That meme, do you guys know that meme? It's, I don't know. It's like a famous
that
meme.
Korean
It's just
or,
like you have no idea what's
Korean
going on. No, it's not a Korean thing. It's an American thing, bro. It's in English.
I
in
don't
America,
know.
I don't think we go that deep on stuff, honestly.
I'm
Yeah,
sharing
no.
that meme to you guys. But anyways, it's kind of like that, you know, like you never know where this is gonna take you. Like, you know, that's kind of exciting part of this game.
I kind of see what you're saying. Yeah.
Because kind of, you know what I mean? Like, because like,
There's no point playing this kind of game if it's boring. If right at the beginning it's you're the chosen one. I mean, I love Zelda, so when I play Zelda, I know I'll be the chosen one in Zelda. That's fine, that's good, you know. But in every other game, at some point, say, come on. That's why actually I really think Final Fantasy VII worked that well at the time. You were not the chosen one. You were a complete loser actually. So I liked, and you learn it very late in the game.
Yeah.
I really like this fact. Say, what? Okay, so I'm a depressed loser who is pretending to have a life. Okay, that sounds bad, but so yeah. Again, expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
Let's say. Yeah.
So that's fun. I mean, I really do appreciate you coming to the podcast and sharing your passion into your game and, I don't know, in the gaming scene as well. Do you have anything you want to say to the listeners or the viewers before we kind of?
Wish list now. That's
Yes.
one thing. You can wish list now, even if you don't plan to buy it. Just wish list. It helps us a lot.
Yes.
Actually. And thank you, all of you, for taking the time to speak with me. So thank you very much. Very appreciate it. We need all the help we can get, all the recognition, and I promise you it will be a fun little game. So at least we can give you that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and
true.
honestly, if you want to keep in touch with us, like I don't know how much I can really do for you and stuff, but I definitely would like to keep seeing how the game advances. And
With pleasure. I'll send you a key for the playtest, and you'll be happy. You'll be able to go out of the hospital and tell me.
You got to leave the hospital.
well, you can go to the hospital, but after you go so far, the tree stopped me, and I was like, "Son
You
of
know
a!"
what? If you really want to play doctor, I have somebody who looks like you in the hospital, and we'll take it.
Well, I was happy there were some old dudes with mustaches. I was like,
Yeah, actually, there is. Yeah, you're right.
nothing makes me angrier than when I play a game and there's not a mustache in it. I'm like, "Doo!" I get so mad.
Really? Okay, so you need a mustache, like the same.
I could be at a 9 for me if there's no mustache. I drop it right down to 1. I'm
we
like,
do
I don't
have
care how
mustaches.
fun the game is. I need
We
mustaches.
do have mustaches. We have a lot of stuff. Oh, yeah.
No, but no, yeah, I definitely look forward to it. So whatever we could do to help, it was super good getting to know you and talk to you, and a lot of fun. So I don't know.
was
I
fun.
like the
Thank you
game.
very much
I like the
again.
game. Yeah, I really like the game. So I would like to see where it goes. Like, it's the kind of stuff I dig. You can ask George. It's the kind of stuff I dig.
Nice. So thanks again. We'll translate it in many languages, hopefully. So we'll see about that. And that's it for me.
Yeah.
So thanks
Yeah,
again.
thank you. If you haven't already, please wishlist it. It's just a click of a button to help, indie dev. And this game looks and does is really fun. Actually, I actually did play it. So I mean, just wishlist it and see where it goes. And yeah, thanks for listening to this podcast. And we will see you guys next week as well. Thank you everyone for coming.
Take care.
Hi, everyone.
Bye bye.
Thank
Au
you.
revoir. Au revoir.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Dude,
I
I took 4 years of French in high school, so.
I like
Oh, yeah.
other languages.
Well, why? What was